everybody. Welcome to the Detroitcast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Isis. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Jay. It's one of our favorite moments, you in the background riding here with Tim when he first got here. Hi, Mike. I was telling Jay about it. He'd laugh so hard. We've done that every once in a while since then. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, man, what a crazy day. I don't even know where I'm at anymore, Jay. I'd like, what day of the week is this?
A lot going on.
Thursday? Is it Thursday? We're doing Friday's show? Like, it's been madness round the clock around here. It is, I promise we'll get back to normal. I know for some people this is a bit much, and it's like, I just want my normal show back. And it's like, I know, we'll get there. Don't worry.
It's coming.
It's gross. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but it's been worth it. We've had a lot going on with the studio, and then obviously with E and the tent, and yesterday was fucking amazing. I don't care what anyone says. Looking in that tent and seeing Jerry from the Jacks, Darren McCarty, Vinny from Sponge, Josh Reel,
An eclectic mix.
I mean, the director of the fucking Red Wings, Russian 5 documentary, and Tim and those guys playing music. And I thought it was amazing, E, that, because you weren't a big, huge Sponge fan. They're a little before your time.
Yeah.
And so you're talking to him about country music, and he's whipping out these songs. And
right. It was great.
I thought they were fantastic.
I got lucky. You know what?
Cool.
It all happened just because I happened to reference you play a video for me, and I go, dude, that's Billy Bob's.
Yeah.
So then you tell that story, and that's why he plays the David Allan Coe song.
Mm-hmm.
I find out he likes country, and then yeah.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. The more I thought about it later in the day, I was like, that was really
quite a day,
dude. I mean, if you really take a step back and you think about it, Jay, 3 guys in a basement started this from fuck all, and to have that kind of group putting on that kind of show out back and raising, what are we at, over $82,000?
Over 82 now, yeah.
Over $82,000 total for a year. For a year, we've done a couple events raising money for South Oakland Shelter. I know a lot of you are aware, and that is mind blowing. That we've hit numbers like that and flown Jerry in, and to see E in the tent with Vinny and Vin's playing and McCarty's watching at home and just drives over and jumps in the tent.
He was at Howard
crazy,
Stern 2 weeks ago. He's in Howard Stern. Now he's sitting in this tent and not even being pretentious about it at all. Just belting out, I don't know, his greatest hits.
Yeah.
It's a fun day.
I gotta give you props, E. I know a lot of people bust your ass and bust your balls and rag on you, and
hasn't he been getting enough props the last 2 days?
Not by me. Well, maybe by me.
I don't even need it.
But no, I know you don't. But dude, that is really fucking hard to do.
I know.
People don't appreciate how hard it is.
All
Set aside the weather.
All joking aside, Isis, you really well done, sir.
I appreciate it.
A job well done again.
Whatever. Thank you.
You always do a great job with these, but this one in particular, it just seemed like, coming off the back end of some other stuff that we did. And, just it's really cold out there. It's cold. It's really just
cold.
miserable.
Monday was especially tough. 6 degrees. When me and Jerry were sitting there, Monday was bitter cold. Deathly cold, honestly, maybe.
Yeah.
Was it just you and Jerry?
Yeah. Oh, and Mike. Sorry.
I was out there in a sweatshirt, and it was fucking freezing. It was, there was a tiny little heater there, and I'm like, is this thing busted? I didn't feel anything from it, and it was really cold.
It's just a grueling endeavor, though, and not everybody could do it. And so, great work, sir.
Thanks to the listeners. Honestly, it's the listeners.
Yeah,
man.
they keep you going.
They keep me going, and you know what, dude?
So did Vinny and Darren. Like, there was a point yesterday after the show where E was done. He was like, dude, can you help me? He didn't know what to do with himself. He's like, I need to take a shower. And so I got to take a shower. And he stunk like hell. I'm like, yes, take a shower. And he needed a nap. He's like, dude, I can't. I'm losing my mind out here. And I'm like, I got you. And then those guys came through, and he got a burst that I've never seen, and you never look back. You were good from then on.
You're right. We don't need to go on too much about this. And then it's not.
I don't care. We can go on as long as we want.
I know. But it's not even. I wouldn't even say that it's a skill or anything. In fact, most of my life, it's actually been a deterrent in everything I've done. That I have this. It just has been this ability. I can talk a lot, and I can do it on little sleep, and I enjoy talking to people and answering every question they have if they want to do it. So it's worked out good.
Well, it's a unique position, and you see, like, it's just you. It's just real, and it's you. That's why all those guys were gravitating to you and Jerry. Vinny fell in love with Jerry.
I don't know. I don't blame him.
It was like, yeah, this is Jerry. And you never know what it's like. well, how do you know Jerry? Is he your grandfather? It's like, well, not really. He's the voice of the Jacks, and he, runs basically a jack-off club in San Francisco. And Vin was just like, amazing. Great to meet you. And it was like, there wasn't a fucking flinch. It's like Vinny's seen it all. And he was just like, he's like, when I drove and took Vin home yesterday, and we sat and talked for a while, and some really exciting stuff around the corner we'll get to at another time. But I'm really fired up about that. And we were talking about Jerry a little bit when we got to his house, and he was just like, man, it's awesome, man. Just like running into people through life, just different walks of life and different experiences, and getting their perspective. And, he's doing his thing. It ain't my thing, but whatever, man. It makes him happy. He's been doing it forever. I love it. I love people like that, and just genuine. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's kind of what it's about.
See what happens when everybody's just generally nice to each other.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't be dicks. Jay, you've been preaching this for 2 years. Hey, I got an idea.
Be generally nice to each other.
How about we don't be dicks to each other? How about we start there and see what happens?
It's a great starting point.
It is. Every time we see these things where it's like, kid shot dead on the streets of Chicago, someone stepped on his shoelace, and it's like, okay, how about this? Next time, how about we just don't be dicks to each other? How about a quick, hey man, sorry about that. Didn't mean to step on your toe there. My bad. Let me get the door for you. How about we, instead of shooting that guy dead, we just go, oh man, no problem. No sweat. Don't you worry about it.
Clear disrespect, Mike.
I have been disrespected. God damn it.
Yeah, this one doesn't fit my example. That was disrespect.
That's true, man. I mean, you don't want to look like a fucking bitch in the hood. I mean, you gotta street cred.
The boys in the hood are hard, Mike.
They're always hard. Talking that trash, they'll pull your card. They will pull your card. No one, nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy. I ain't said shit. Go ahead, Jay. You look like you're dying to read something.
Hey, everybody, please use our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click on them, shop away. It doesn't cost you more. So that's the key. We're not asking you to give us more money.
No.
But we're
done asking for anything.
Everybody's using Amazon. So please use our link. Go to DetroitCast.com. Just click through that. Won't cost you any more, as I say. Also, make sure that you're shopping MyPillow.
Yes.
They've got a big thing going with the Gizas right now.
Pushing that hard.
Yeah, and as Jerry attested yesterday, they are remarkable sheets, right? Yeah. That's what Jerry said.
I noticed the pillows on my bed were rearranged. So Jerry played some sort of, mixing and matching. I don't know if it was like a shell game with the pillows, and it's like, oh, he was sampling them.
Maybe he made a pillow man out of them. Snuggled up to a pillow man.
Oh, he'll never know which one of these pillowcases I came on.
Yeah, those Giza sheets. Yes, so get your Giza sheets at mypillow.com, and your other betting related needs. Use TDC code for the very best discount.
I did want to say, I'm going to need your help for one other thing.
I know.
We have got to get in order. I hope people are patient, because I sent out
I've been telling them to be patient.
Of the Proops videos as I can. I ran through, 8 of them, and they're, the first day. And then I was in the weeds, and I haven't come out of the weeds yet. So as soon as I do, I know I'm getting like a picture from this person, and then the story behind that picture on a different social media thing. And then I've got to somehow put these things in order so I know who's poops or shoops, because some of them I can't wait. The people have sent me the best fucking pictures of their dogs. Some of these poops just looking sad with their face resting on the couch.
A lot to work with there.
Oh my God. McCarty was like, dude, you got to do one of these for me. And he sends me a picture. Sends me a picture of him holding his 2 little, I don't know what, Yorkies, whatever they are, 2 little dogs.
McCarty's got Yorkies?
Something like that.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Well, probably his wife has Yorkies.
Yeah. No, I shouldn't have said that.
Dude should have a Rottweiler or something.
I'll show it to you. Yeah, he's had bulldogs and stuff too, so it's not that he's but yeah, I'll show you his dog.
Little light in the loafers with these dogs.
Yeah.
And his wife is a nurse. And what are those? Whatever those are.
Those are Yorkies.
Yorkshires or something.
Karen Terriers or some shit. Look at McCarty with his
what will Lemieux think of this?
You called McCarty's dog.
I mean, this guy is such a total pussy. It's stunning.
He's like, so this one's an asshole, and this one beats up that one, and this one's really sweet. And all I could think was, this one's good because Cheryl's a nurse. And so I was just like, yeah, it's really weird around here. Like, my dad, beats people up for a living, and then my mom fixes them for a living. I want to spin off that, but every time I get these pictures, I'm looking at them going, oh, yeah, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Yep, this will be a good one.
2 little twin gay dogs.
Reg said that. He's probably going to come over here right now. You know that.
He's
Tasmanian devil's going to come bursting down the stairs. Call my dogs pussy.
No, sir.
Yeah. No. So we'll get to them. I promise we'll get those. And if you feel slighted, you didn't get it. After
I have been
telling.
I'm telling you. I have actually been telling people recently when they've coming in. I'm like, look, dude. I'm telling you, he is doing them. But luckily, there's been so many that he's backed up, and they're coming gross. So
good. And also, dude, I don't know what you're gonna do, E, but there are a shitload of people that want to come to the Fady Manor to see a WWE pay-per-view with your mom and dad and you and Tony. Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe how many people wanted to come see that.
I know. I knew that I thought there'd be a few, to be honest, but I think there's like 30, maybe. I'm gonna pick 3, and they'll get a +1. So for listeners, you're
gonna pick 3 people.
I'm gonna pick 3, and and those get a +1. So the listener can even take another listener if they want, and so what I'm gonna do with all these, if the
listeners were smart, they would make deals with each other. Hey, if you win the drawing, you take me. If I win, I'll take you.
For sure, there should be some backhanded deals being going on if they were smart.
We've learned this from Big Brother houses and Survivor. I mean, that's how you do it.
So what I'm gonna do with deals, what I'm gonna do with the 3 that I did, the 3 drawing ones that I did, is I'm gonna end that at noon tomorrow, and then I'll start tallying up the names and copying and pasting, and we'll do the raffle.
You're gonna do the same with the Sponge?
Yep, Sponge
tickets,
Red Wings tickets, and then the pay-per-view tickets, or not tickets, but viewing party.
Very good. And there's some other stuff outstanding that we'll tie up as well.
That's fine.
Thank you everybody that's supported and helped, and I promise we will take a knee for quite a while on raising money, begging you for shit.
Quite a while.
Yeah, coming off the studio GoFundMe, it was really hard. We knew it was going to be hard to keep generating things, but you guys really come through again. And again, once again, absolute fuck all crickets from the local media. Think about that for a second. This show has raised $82,000 for homeless, not in LA, in southeastern Michigan. And Fox 2, fuck all.
Man, I don't want to.
Channel 7, fuck all. Channel 4, fuck all.
Well, it's not even
water skiing squirrel stories are more important. Look at Bill's new chili.
What about responses?
That's the thing, though.
It's hilarious, dude.
There's a dynamic component to the story,
right? There is something.
What you just listed yesterday going on out in the tent. That's interesting, right? It's not just some fucking douche sitting in a tent. Well, it is for a while,
for a lot of it, dude. Honestly, think about that. Not only is this little podcast that could, with their listeners, raising now at this point, like I said, over $82,000 for charity, and a real charity that needs real help, especially in the dead of winter. Crickets from your local media. You had Darren McCarty, Vinny Dombrowski from Sponge in a tent. You had Josh Reel. You couldn't get bigger news in Metro Detroit right now. The Russian 5 movie coming out. And they're all here at the same time playing fucking songs in the tent as we raise money, more and more money for charity.
What about
donating shit out of our own pockets to give away to people to do this?
Well, dude,
opening up our own houses.
Sorry.
Does anyone? Shut the fuck up, Ease. Jesus Christ.
He's on a rant, E. Shut up.
Does anyone in local media give a flying fuck? Not once. Other people sneeze and it's covered by fucking 10 outlets. This show's done unbelievable shit for 5 years now, and nobody gives a fuck, and we notice. And you should be ashamed of yourselves, because you could actually do something. You could actually step in and make that something that's blasted out all over Metro Detroit, and word gets out, and we could have raised even twice that much money if you use your platform for something good. But no, chili recipes are really important. Maybe fucking we do water skiing squirrel stories forever. Gee, I wonder if we get the score of the Pistons game. Where are we going to get that if not for your local fucking news outlets?
What's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Shame on you. Yeah, what's the temperature outside? Jesus, we don't have we have a rocket ship in our fucking pockets at all times. It's embarrassing, dude. It really is embarrassing. Go ahead, Jay. We need to make a break here. Sorry. I didn't mean
rant.
You're
all right, Mike. You're all right.
No, it's fucking embarrassing, man. It's shameful. It really is. And it pisses me off, and it should piss you off too.
Hey, does your money work as hard as you do? You'll spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you'll be able to retire on your terms? How could you know?
Couldn't. It's not possible.
How could you know if you don't have a plan? Let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money's working as hard as you are. Call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for our buddy Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
She sounded a bit tuckered on the end of that read. Did I scare you with my rant? Did my rant scare you?
No, you don't scare. What do you mean? I sounded tuckered?
You sounded tuckered towards the end of the Merc read.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I apologize.
Jesus, don't take it seriously. It was a joke. Relax. You sounded like you faded out. No big deal.
Okay, that's weird. Go.
Are you sure? I can go. Police chief.
Hold on, man. Back up.
Dude, I made a simple comment. What was that all about?
Bag up.
What are you talking about?
You sounded like tired at the end of that read. That was my whole point. I don't know why you had to stop and point it out and not just laugh. I was a joke.
Oh, I said I said I wasn't. And then you got all pissy, and then you start going like this with your papers. Whenever you go like that,
well,
I know
didn't
you're
know.
pissy.
Like all of a sudden you went into serious mode. I'm sorry. I was making a joke. That's all. Jesus.
What the heck, man?
I'm sorry. We've been working 23 hours a fucking day here for 4 days. It's a little nuts. Sorry. My head's elsewhere, so bear with me. I'm glad the Chicago police have finally dropped the hammer on this fucking asshole, Jussie Smollett, and we can be done with this story, hopefully. And I hope this asshole gets all 3 years that he's positive. Isn't that what they're saying? He's possibly facing his 3 years?
Yeah, that's the max, I think.
Dude, what an embarrassment. I honestly, don't you think, like, I would want psychiatric, like, I would want someone like this going in front of I don't know, sitting on someone's couch and finding out what the hell is going on there. You know, because
that's giving him a break, though. That right? You didn't want that. We talked about that the other day, and I said what he'll probably do is Trump made me do this climate. Yeah. Oh, I got pulled into this, and I shouldn't have done it. No, you want this guy to have personal responsibility and actually go serve time, man.
Well, I'm not even saying like
no, take anything off the table. Fuck this guy.
You're right.
This guy. Think about the resources that not only the Chicago police but FBI is committed to this stupid case.
Yep.
Think about the waste of time people have put into this bullshit.
Well, I think you're missing what I'm saying, because I agree with you 100%. I am not saying that he should be able to go, well, I think Trump is so bad for the country. I just didn't know what else to do, and it screwed my head up. I'm saying psychologically something's got to be off in a guy like that can even go this route. Fuck the Trump side of it. To use the history of the country, division like racism, homophobia.
Don't give him a break and give him some psychological out. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
If he did this, he's a piece of shit.
How stupid.
Because you're right. To use the lynching and to turn it to try to benefit himself, to make a name for himself.
What is the bleach, by the way? Is that supposed to turn black skin white? That's the play? Yeah. Is that the play there that he's going for?
Yes.
You know what's funny about this to me?
Who even thinks of that?
What's funny about this to me is, and I don't like to be a prejudgmental person either on stuff like this, but it's like there was stuff pretty close to the beginning that there was already questions on this. If you remember, like right
people jumped on you for even saying that.
Like right from the beginning, though, they had remember the cops. Oh, apparently Chicago has cameras on every angle, and they're like right from the beginning it was like weird. We don't have this angle. That he wouldn't turn on the phone. Why would he have to turn on his phone? And I understand what Jay. You were right, Jay. As a celebrity, he doesn't want people to go through his phone. But in the end,
I brought up the point of his manager. His manager can go in there and sit with the phone.
Right, but in the end, it turns out that those things were valid.
He knew if they got a hold of that phone, they were going to see the phone calls an hour before the attack, an hour after the attack that he was having with the brothers, and the next day. Like this thing came unglued, and it sounds like they got 48-hour hold. So if they bring someone in, I think the cops can not charge you and be interviewing you for 40 hours, which. In the 47th hour is when the guys finally went, all right, it's time to man up, the two brothers. And in that last hour, they grew the cojones to go, look, this whole thing, even the letter is bullshit that was mailed to him. And if this is true, that this is about getting a raise.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know. He makes $20,000 per episode on Empire. And it sounds like that's what this was all about in the end. Way to take a shot at Trump, keep that fucking thing going, separate the country, homophobes and all that stuff. But in reality, he wanted a raise on Empire and thought if he could look like the victim to the executives at Fox, here he is, poor guy getting death threats at work. When that didn't work, he ramped it up. Time to ramp it up. This is an incredible story. It really is. So, yeah, how he could not know, though, that the phone records are going to come out at some point. I mean, they could subpoena the phone company and get that. I mean,
there's so much in it that it's like dude, it's 2019. How would you think that some of these things wouldn't come out?
He must not have even considered the notion that they would turn around and look at him. Like he just figured I'd report this. Yeah, maybe they don't find the guys, but it goes down in history as I was assaulted. Yeah. Because apparently the guy kept the magazines that he cut the fucking
right, we said that.
Well, I don't know that we know that, but the cops took magazines. And they're not just looking for the new Sports Illustrated.
No.
They took those magazines for a reason. could he possibly? I guess he could possibly be that stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, the facts that are coming out show that. And the other thing is, his little Good Morning America interview with "Shut up, Robin" Roberts. That thing, the cops were so happy he did. And they usually when he put that scar on his cheek and his other photos, the hospital photo, he did that himself, by the way. He did little scratches on his face himself.
Yeah, boy.
And the brothers gave the full plot up, but they said that they loved it because he went on Good Morning America and he was like, yeah, people think because I'm gay that I'm not tough enough. Oh, I took them on and they ran away. Like, he really propped himself up as a badass,
right?
Not afraid of two other guys. He could handle his own. And in reality, they were watching that knowing because he identified. Remember that grainy still photo of the two guys? It was like, these might be persons of interest. We're trying to figure out who these people are.
Yeah.
That was the story we were hearing. Well, on Good Morning America, that picture was shown. He was like, yes, that's definitely the guys that did it. Well, those guys were already in custody. The police already had him. And so they knew once he identified them, we've got him. We've already identified him. He doesn't know that we have, but we have. And right then they were like, okay, this guy's fucked. And so the guy, the police chief there, the superintendent, is a black guy, and he was pissed and lit into this story when he held a press conference today. And he's just like, how could someone look at the? He says he took advantage of our city and race issues. I come to you today not only as the superintendent of Chicago Police Department, but as a black man who has spent his entire life living in Chicago. I know the racial divide. I know how hard it has been for our city and our nation to come together. Actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. I'm left hanging my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make a false accusation? How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see it as an opportunity to manipulate his own public profile? It's a slap in the face to everyone in Chicago. So his lawyers, Smollett's lawyers, by the way, are saying, we will aggressively. Dude, you know what? It's at some point.
Defend.
Don't you just wave the white flag and just go, okay, it's over, it's all over, and just stop this. You know, you're gonna fight this really. 20th Century Fox did release a statement saying that they are gonna stand by him, and then today when he was arrested, they said he's now suspended.
Oh, they're considering their options.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any options. You cannot stand by Jussie Smollett. Period.
Right.
I mean. Is there any possibility that we've got this all wrong?
Sure. I suppose anything's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Jay's right though. Didn't you say that all the celebrities were coming out still and just like, well, even if this wasn't true, it happens
to other people, and this should remind us.
It's just so that is to me, out of all the divide and stuff, that's the craziest part about some of these, not just this story, but some of these stories where it's like now it doesn't even matter. This is a fact, not a fact, but a one where we look at it like, holy shit, this probably is not even close to true. And it's like, oh, well, still we should just look at what things are. And it's like, wow.
Well, that touches on, I think, probably in reality, there's multi-layers to the reason for doing this. You know, as they say, trying to get a raise, trying to get some notoriety. Well, he's known all over the country, right?
He was trying to raise that's a good point, Jay. He was trying to raise his stature.
Like, nobody fucking knew who he was, right? Unless you're an Empire watcher. I had never heard of him.
And I think he's not even a big character. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've never watched the show, but I think he's like the son of one of the lead characters.
Apparently a musician too. He has a Columbia deal too, or something, or Capitol Records. I forget. But also he knows because you see the reaction. You know, the social justice side of it is like, well, you know, okay, no matter what happened in this case, we still have to fight this sort of race. And he knew that there was the psychic capital side of it too, that he knew he would just fall. It was like perfect. You know, he would gain on the financial end, and then also just socially, he would be this hero.
Yes. And this is a different, it'll be interesting to see how the public and the media reacts to this story going forward. If it's just kind of like, well, he was arrested and charged, and we'll see, and then sweep it away.
I think it depends on what happens to him, whether he's actually charged or whether he's actually convicted, and whether he gets any jail time, or whether, you know, he gets a little slap on the wrist, some community service, and then he goes back. And if people embrace him again, and the Hollywood side, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know that's what I'm wondering, is because Twitter can be remarkable. There can be things out there and you're like, there's no way people are taking that stance. and they do, and it's shocking. And I'm trying to, in my head, play out like, what is the defense that
the
you
defense
could do?
is what Isis brought up again, is this fact that, oh, it's still going on. And so even though it,
it was the wrong way to do it.
It was the wrong way to do it, but it just is endemic of what's going on in our country.
Make it happen.
Can you imagine how offensive that would be
to
everybody? Shame on you if you're doing that, first off. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit narrative.
Well, you have people
it's really shitty if you're so dug in on your point, on your stance, that you can't go, you know what, fuck that guy. He does more damage by pulling a stunt like this than he could possibly ever do good. And the fringe assholes out there that want to go, well, it was the wrong way to do it, but he did use his platform to get the message out there that this sort of thing still exists. Bullshit.
That could be what ultimately comes out of this. You saw people leading up to today and his arrest saying, I hope this is true. I hope his narrative is true. I really do. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
You hope that there was a racist, homophobic attack in downtown Chicago?
Right.
Like, that's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, with a political slant, homophobic, and yeah, that would be awful. You better hope that's not. And it sounds like it wasn't. The difference is, though, because we've seen a lot of these hoaxes. We've talked about, oh my God, they threw the cotton on the floor outside my dorm and my hijab was ripped off. We've seen a lot of this. There's been tons of them and they get tons of press. They're big stories. But the fact is, this one's different because there's the element of celebrity. There's an element of a popular show on a big network behind it. So that means, the girl that gets her hijab ripped off in Ann Arbor or Eastern Michigan, whatever that bullshit story was, nobody knows her and it goes away.
But the main story is the one that sticks probably more than the fact that was a hoax. Whereas this one has a different resonance. Like it's a different, man. Yeah, this one's going to stick around in a lot of people's minds.
And honestly, I don't know how you have a redemption feel-good story for that, because that's just, I think African-American people are going to be really not happy with, and not even like to further the cause, but personally gain by using the noose, the bleach, like the terrible history, that this country has had, to use that to get yourself a raise or to raise your profile. Dude, that is, the gay community should be ashamed of him and not defend him. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I guess that's the whole point. But I don't have much faith in social media people that they're gonna band together.
Nor should you.
I just don't. Do we ever see? Are there ever moments that we see Twitter really come together? And have we seen that? Or there?
It's always no. Yes, we have. But it's always. I've told you, like, there's two things. There's one, this. Or there's the other of, some random hero. No, not all, some like a Ken Bone situation.
Ken Bone
where it's
did
like,
kind of fucking pat. He
but
was a peacemaker.
Even then, it only takes about 2 days usually. Remember before we found out that Ken Bone was looking at I saw her butthole and I liked it.
Yeah.
So even in the positive, it usually takes about 24 hours before, if you've said anything ever on any platform that was questionable.
You know what? Now that I think about it, what's his name was well on his way, Jay, as you know. Why did they do that? Why did they bully?
Keenan.
It's Keenan, the boy. You love Keenan, and why do they gotta be mean? Why do
people bully people?
And he was perfect. He had the hair lip, and he's got a little speech impediment. And he's got tears trickling down his face. And celebrities jumped on board, and everybody, the whole world came around to rally around this kid who was bullied. So we found out his dad had white power tattoos, and his mom, and the kid was apparently saying the N-word in class. And boy, did people skedaddle. But I think the internet has proved that they're dying to come together on something. They really are. So hopefully Jesse Smollett has done some good and can unite us all in kicking his ass around for a few days.
They are and they aren't, though. That's the problem. They're dying for this moment. Everyone wants the moment, and then the minute the moment happens, we can't wait 12 hours before we can start to
do that. Why's everybody gotta be mean?
It's too bad.
Can't people be nice? Stop being dicks to everybody.
And it's so split into teams that you can never get unity between the two sides, right? Not even in a case like Jussie. Jussie will be defended in the way that I'm describing, where they go, you know what, this happens, and yes, he went a little bit out, but we forgive him.
This would be a miracle if they came together. I really would. I don't have much faith in humanity, but
Twitter sphere.
There's so many things that people on his side of the fence typically are not going to be able to shame him. The fact is he's black. He's gay. He's a liberal. He's an actor. He hates Trump. Yeah, he had the whole thing where he faked the attack, but
he's got a lot going for him.
He's got a lot going for him.
You know what,
he really
though,
does.
Mike, I want to say, like, and I'm not trying to shoehorn this into it, but we've had guests on this show that we've said have, in the end have not came on, and our feeling was that they decided that we've talked about Trump, and they're MAGA people. And
come on, but yeah.
Okay,
your point is well taken.
Well, my point for bringing it up though was here we have this 10th thing this week, and if people were to listen to some of our listeners, we have some listeners that are totally anti-MAGA, but we have some hardcore Make America Great listeners, and yet we have a guy from San Francisco who in this town is known for running a male masturbatory club. And they are loving him. Our listeners
mock jacking off right now when you said that,
right? And our
middle schools.
And I prefer female masturbatory clubs, just for the record. But
I'm with Jay. Yeah.
But my point is, like, it's just too bad that this narrative. When Jay talks about the divide, it's too bad that this narrative has just gotten so pushed. When just one little thing we've done this week, where we have listeners that are just loving this dude, who the mainstream media would say there is no way a DTRBM would be okay with this. He likes MAGA. He never would be okay with what we have going on, and yet that's not the case.
No, it's it's very anecdotal, the evidence we have, but when people have agreed to do an interview on this show and then it's canceled 2 days later, it because of the content of the show, it is 100% of the time on one side of the aisle. Period. End of story. It's coming from the liberal left, always. And Jay and I have done this where we've talked to people who are hardcore liberal left people, and we don't even go there. It's like, dude, we're here to talk about George Lucas with you. I can go to your Twitter and go, this guy cannot hate Trump anymore. It's not possible. This guy is occupied 24/7 with Trump. Nothing he can do will ever be good or right. And he's a monster across the board. And we could have looked at that and gone, fuck this guy. I don't even talk to him anymore. We went, let's not bring up Trump. That'll get weird. And I don't care anyways. So he's here to talk about a fucking George Lucas book. We just talked to him about that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We're again, for the millionth time, just everybody's so ingrained in politics is in everything now.
Everything.
It's like your first impression of someone. Which side are you on? Like, stop it. There's so much good going on. There's so much fun stuff. There's so much
Can we just go to a concert? Can we just go to a football game?
Life going on, and it's not real when you watch these cable news shows and they try to constantly divide. Like, that's not real life. Like, I consider myself a pretty typical average American guy, father of 3 kids, just going through life. And this stuff I don't see this. I don't see this hate that we're all supposed to be feeling, and this division. It's like the only time you see it is when you jump online, try to converse with people, Twitter, the news story narrative that you're being given. It's just not real life, man.
Yeah, every time they drop a new season or new episode of the news, you see it immediately. Dude, this week has been so crazy. I have not had time to watch any new episodes of the news. I haven't seen, I don't even know what the plot lines are on recent episodes of the news.
Oh, you're going to be next week. It's going to be tough, dude. You're going to catch up, man.
Dude, I know, right? I'm going to have to go back and watch all the episodes. That
Actually, you won't, because it doesn't matter. That's gone.
It's
and
like
now the news.
It's like the General Hospital, dude. You can pick it up 20 years later. It's the same cast of characters.
Dude's still on here. He's still fighting with that bitch.
Pelosi's still sitting behind him.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
God, Schumer still got them glasses doing that thing. All right, cool. But dude, so for 4 days now, I haven't watched shit. I haven't watched any of my normal routine through the day, catching up on shit.
And how empty and aimless you feel, right?
And we've been busy around here. It has affected me none. And last night, for the first time, I flipped on the TV and I got through about 5 minutes of one of those shows, and it was like, the world's coming to an end. It's burning down. Trump said this, and guess what Pelosi said? And whoa, is it possible he's going to go to prison now? Don Jr. And I was like, click. Yeah. No. I haven't needed it the last 4 days, and I don't need it now. Doesn't mean I won't pay attention to the news. That's my job. But the daily grind that you've been trying to, shut off in all of our worlds, Jay, you're right, man. When you're walking around, I'm finding most people, they're just nice.
Yeah, it drives you into this mindset that's not healthy. You this hateful kind of like spiteful thing, and that's not the kind of world that I'm experiencing. Once you turn off the news or get off the computer.
Well, I was and I don't see color typically, so it's a rarity that I noticed this gentleman was black. who got out of his car yesterday, and I got out of my car at like the same time, and now I'm doing the walk to the door where it's like, which one of us is going to have to hold the door for the other? I don't know, and we're just gonna have to play this by ear. What's his pace right now,
dude?
I don't want to slow down and make it look like I'm making him open the door. And so as I'm walking, we're both walking to the door, and I hit the lock on my car. It goes whoop whoop, or whatever. It honks. The horn honks, and walking. He looks over me. He goes, "Hey man, I think someone's honking at you. Some chick back there must think you're pretty cute." I'm like, "Yeah, nah, I think she was honking at you, man. You better go check that out." Then I held the door for him.
Mike made a black friend.
No,
see?
I didn't. No, I don't see color. The point was that. Wow. The point was, if you watch those shows around the clock, you're led to believe that black people are just fucking hating on white people and vice versa. You're either a Nazi or a militant African American that hates whitey. And
dude, it makes for good TV, you know?
Yeah, it does. So the rating's good. Because if they showed that exchange with me and I don't know what his name was, if they showed that exchange on the news, not many people are coming back for tomorrow night's brand new episode of the news.
It poo-poos the whole thing.
Dude, I gotta tell you, by the way, when it comes to, I don't mind opening the door for someone, but I'm getting more and more awkward of that moment of like who. And I go to the library a lot, as I always discuss. And there's a
by the way, can we pause here real quick? The library.
You guys
me and
love the library.
The Bloomfield Hills Library.
Oh, it's great.
What year is this? 1983.
We're gonna let you in on a little secret.
I go to the
listeners.
library too. It's called my cell phone.
No, man.
No.
Let me tell you something. We're gonna let the listeners in on a little secret here. I didn't want to do this before because it was kind of our hidden place.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, this is the best library on the planet. Bloomfield Hills Library. Telegraph and Lone Pine, is it? Oh my God.
I don't go there as much anymore because it's not in my direction.
It's the best.
It's a great library.
You can get Kurt Vonnegut books in lots of libraries. You don't need to go to
my thing is I
go there just to work.
Right. So as do I. Jay more often is doing things in different areas. I don't have
go home.
Yeah, but I don't have a desk at home. In my personal situation, I don't really have a desk. So I like to go there because it's a way to get, if I sit at home, here comes a blue bird. I'm not freaking doing shit.
It's called Netflix. You have Netflix at home.
Yeah, that's the thing. But what
you have kids at home, so that's probably why.
Right. What I was going to get, though, is like I am more and more in situations where if it's like I'm walking one way and I start to see someone's walking and I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, we're going to be at the door at the same time. I start just backing the fuck off. And it's not because I don't want to open the door for them. It's
you want
just
them to hold it for you.
It's not even that. It's not even that.
Selfish.
It's just I just don't want to. I've gotten so weird about the awkward moment of what to do and who does what that I'm like, I'm not dealing with it anymore.
It shouldn't be an awkward moment. It really should. If your hand can reach the handle before his or hers, you pull it open for him.
Especially easy said that library, they have automatic doors.
Well, I'm talking about a different one that I go to, but I mean, I go to a one.
All you got to do is step in the zone.
No, I go to a different one by me. But my point is, I've been doing this even with doors other places recently. I've started to get to the point where I'm in parking lots.
Do you behave differently, whether it's a woman, a man,
no
black person?
Doesn't matter. But if I'm in a parking lot and I see that there's a door opening situation, I have started to I'll just look at my phone for 30 more seconds. And then
back.
Yeah. Do you ever do that? Like, oh shit, forgot that in my car. Turn around and go back to your door.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move. I admitted openly and honestly on this very show that I treat black people differently than I do white people.
Oh, I see.
When that moment comes up and everyone fucking, I mean, it was a Twitter disaster.
You have like an affirmative action sort of stance on that.
Yeah, it's like a reverse racism thing where everyone would,
you lay out a red carpet. You lay down on the ground on a puddle, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
To allow these people to walk.
I carry black people across puddles.
Yeah.
In the snow. No.
Reparations.
People were like, oh, you son of a bitch racist. Yeah, you guys are all fucking high and mighty. I don't even see color. I open the door if I get there first, whatever. The question was, when in that awkward moment where it's like they're 7 steps behind you, how long do you have to hold the door? Because you want to just open the door and let it slam behind you, but what is the rule of thumb?
And then you sometimes compel that awkward little jog that they do.
Coming.
The jog, the quick walk, which
the fake quick walk.
Yeah, it's never really a quick walk. You're right, it's sort of fake, but it requires more movement.
I just push the door. You know what I do from now on? If they're even close enough, I give it one more shove and think they can catch it.
I've done the one more shove too. Ian. It's not a bad move. It sort of says you tried. It's kind of like the Jay saying the fake. Nope, I'm coming. You're not moving any faster, but
I'm with
little effort. But I was saying that I give black people an extra couple steps. Like if I've determined if that was a white guy, I would let the door close behind me. The black guy gets
So it's
no more than 5 extra
sort of white
steps.
Guilt. This is how white guilt is expressed.
No, it's not
what
that.
Is it?
It's that the division is so strong in this country.
Want to do your part.
I want to say, hey man, I'm not one of those. I'm not one of the evil whites, and here I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to give you 3 steps that you don't deserve. I'm going to give you 3 extra steps.
But this is contrary to the story you just described, going into the post office. There isn't that big a divide, man. Most people are just fucking cool with each other. Just be generally nice.
This goes back a few weeks when I thought there was a huge divide. Huge divide.
Well, that was Mike. That's when I told you, when I've said it already on the show, but it was the time I was at the gas station and the African-American lady was sitting there going, hey, you got any money? You got any money? You know, and I'm like, cash? I'm like, oh man, I don't have any cash on me. And I'm going, and as I'm doing my credit card, and she's like, yeah, typical white guy, blah, 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 cracker ass, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted
to call you a cracker ass?
Yeah, I think she said cracker, but, and I almost wanted to yell back at her, like, look it. The only reason, because I gave her a little fake look into my car, like I didn't think I had any cash on me, but I kind of like, oh, maybe I have a few dollars in here. If it was a white person, I wouldn't even fucking have considered looking in that car. Yeah. I only looked in my car because she was black.
So you see color, man. hey, this is right now, unbeknownst to all of us, we've just fallen into the honest conversation that we're supposed to want to have with everybody.
Right.
This is an honest conversation. He admitted, look, man, if that was a white motherfucker, fuck you, man. Get your own damn thing.
$2 get out of here.
Black woman. He was like, I
almost put my credit card in her thing, dude. Like
he almost charged gas for her.
Do you recognize any irony here, given the fact that you just sat outside for 4 days to help the homeless, and you're like, fuck a white person who needs help?
I know.
He recognizes his own privilege and he's checking it, Jay. Yeah. That's all. That's all that story is.
Well, again, like Mike's right. This was a few months back before I knew not the divide.
The blacks and whites don't actually hate each other to death. Yeah. Right. You know, some of us do, I guess, but not all of us.
Hey, college hoops, they are heating up, so stop on by the Hamlin Pub to watch your favorite team on one of their numerous TVs and enjoy sports specials like the $7 medium hand-tossed pizzas, boneless wings, or the Nacho Supreme. Of course, these specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pub's locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and the 2 in Shelby Township. Speaking of college hoops, did you see Zion Williamson go right out of his shoe? Dude. Nike has to be beside themselves.
What is he, the best?
He's
best player in the country?
Hands down the best college hoops player right now. Freshman at Duke.
You got his name wrong. It's Zion Williams. That's what CNN had on the score.
Did I say Williamson?
No, you said Williamson, which is right.
Sorry about that.
It's correct. But CNN or Fox had Williams. It's Williamson. You had it right.
Now
you're making me
Zion.
My bones are getting hurt by this because I'm confused.
Saying you had it right, but I was making a joke in that the TV show that I was watching, they were getting his name wrong on the fucking teleprompter, on the printout. They were calling him Williams.
Zion Williamson, freshman at Duke. Hands down, best player in the country, like #1 draft pick for sure.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking forward to this game last night, Duke v. UNC.
UNC won in a landslide. Didn't they run away with it?
Yeah, but Zion lasted like 2 minutes in this game.
I thought it was 36 seconds. That there was like tickets going for like $10,000. Like the highest.
UNC Duke is a massive rivalry.
I understand, but still.
Yeah, it was #1 versus #8, I guess. But
have you ever seen a shoe do this?
I've never, let alone in a moment like this where everybody's watching this game, 38 seconds in or some shit. The shoe just explodes, man. The whole side of it.
What the hell happened? So
I've already forwarded it to like just the slow motion part where versus the live where you kind of don't see it as much.
These guys, I'm assuming these guys get new pairs of shoes every game, right?
Yeah, he's probably got 20 pairs of shoes in his locker.
Right.
Go.
Yep.
That's right here. His foot comes out of his shoe.
It just blew up.
The whole damn shoe came apart.
He broke his shoe with his own foot. But as you say, the
injury does not
appear to have anything to do with the left foot.
So it's one thing if that happens and you're like, wow, that's embarrassing for Nike. But then the dude hurts his knee and he's out the rest of the game.
Yeah. And we don't know at this point, like.
It's a knee injury.
It's a knee injury. What's the one injury basketball players, well, basically all athletes don't want to have?
You got to have your knees, right?
The knees are important. The knees are very, very important. Can you imagine if this has some, like, well, we thought it was just a slight meniscus tear. He's going to be out for 6 weeks. But it turns out he did some weird damage in there and his career's over.
Right.
Some Bo Jackson blowing out his hip.
Yeah.
Thing, you know what I mean? Where it looks innocent, but.
No, this guy is undeniably an enormous talent. He's like a can't miss NBA player. And so you're right. If something like that happened. Just look at his highlight reel from this year. It's unbelievable.
Really?
This dude's a man.
Is that fucking asshole white Duke player still there that everyone hated? That it was always like he's trying to trip someone.
Oh no, he's gone.
Is he gone?
Yeah,
what was his name?
I Grayson.
Grayson. That's probably why I hated him so much, because his name was Grayson.
The worst. Yeah, he tripped guys like every third game or so. Just reach out and trip them.
Speaking of college hoops, too, Jay. You see Jim Boeheim out killing motherfuckers for no reason.
Head coach of Syracuse, yeah.
Usually when you see it's like, basketball coach, accidentally runs someone over. It's like, East Tennessee's coach, assistant coach, but they're still giving headlines.
Yeah, Boeheim.
Jim Boeheim?
He's one of the biggest names in the game,
Like, even Jerry from the Jacks has probably heard of Jim Boeheim. I mean, dude, he's Syracuse men's basketball head coach and killed a 51-year-old man last night. I hope you're happy, press. If he didn't have to do that press conference after the game, he would have been out of that stadium earlier. This guy would have been nowhere in his circle, and come into contact with him. Boeheim gets home, no problem. But instead,
sounds like there's some serious mitigating circumstances, at least. Like, I couldn't, in my mind's eye, exactly figure out what the story was talking about, but it sounds like this dude, the now deceased dude, his car broke down.
It hit a guardrail.
Okay,
is what happened.
And then Jim's trying to pass through that, and the guy was walking.
I think there were, I want to say there were multiple guys in the car. So he's with three others. George Jimenez, or Jorge, Jorge. Is that Jorge Jimenez. Si, senor. So Jorge, that's really rude and inappropriate, really. It was. I apologize to anybody that was offended by that. Poor man was killed last night. I'm sorry to Jorge and the Jimenez family in full. Anyways, he was in a car with three others just before midnight. They hit a guardrail on the Syracuse interstate, and it sounds like reports are sketchy, like there was wind and rain and sleet possibly in the area, but they don't know if at the time that affected anything. But you can imagine in the winter, those dark, slick roads at midnight.
Reflection off the asphalt, etc.
I mean, it's been bad around here, and I'm sure Syracuse is not much better. So anyways, Boeheim hit him as he was trying to avoid the vehicle. So it hit the guardrail. I'm assuming it must have still been somewhat in the road.
Right.
This guy gets out of the car to walk to get help, whatever. Mm-hmm. And as he's trying to avoid the car, he does something worse and doesn't avoid Mr. Jimenez. Ugh. Can you imagine what that's going to do to Jim Boeheim's life? Oh, I mean, that is going to be with him forever. He apparently stopped immediately, and there was no alcohol. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
I thought you were making a joke. Like, yeah, give 24, 36 hours. And
No. I think that's one where
gonna be rough, dude.
That's going to be
that's tough.
It'd be worse.
Actually kill a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you didn't just hit him and hurt him. You killed him.
Caitlyn Jenner was a woman, all of 2 weeks before she started killing people in her car?
Right.
You know what I mean? Didn't she kill him? I thought Bruce Jenner killed the person, and then all of a sudden Kate Jenner came to us.
No, women drivers, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Caitlyn that killed that
But
chick.
we weren't sure where in the transition it was. You know what I mean? We weren't sure if it still had a fruit cup or what was going on.
I thought we had to turn the other way because it was Caitlyn Jenner. No. I thought that's why we had to
I agree with you. I agree. She was calling herself Caitlyn, but I don't think we were sure where in the process Bruce/Caitlyn was in terms of removal of the twigs and berries.
Right. Oh, that aspect. But we were post Vanity Fair.
Correct.
Gorgeous. And I think we
maybe not post Vanity Fair, but I
don't think so.
Well, you got a fucking bing machine in front of you, Jesus.
The date of the
because I think Mike's right. I think the whole joke was women drivers.
Yeah. But I think we can all agree that she's beautiful, clearly. You know what I mean? Like we were taught to say that. She was stunning. Whether it's on the Vanity Fair cover or on the stage at the ESPYs, I'm almost positive because Bruce Jenner, people would have looked at that story as Bruce, and I'm sorry to dead name him. I really am. It's not right, but as Ricky Gervais says, back then when he was Bruce Jenner.
We're just trying to describe something here, so
right.
it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's hard to navigate these new rules.
But he was.
Yeah, he was. He was Bruce Jenner.
For 63 years, he was on the telly. He was on a box of cereal. I remember it. But yeah, dude, Bruce had recently separated with the family.
Kardashians, yeah.
The public would have sided with the Kardashians. Now, you throw Caitlyn in the driver's seat and start mowing people down. Caitlyn, we got to be careful there, right?
I think that's how I remember it, too.
Yeah, I think it looks like I'm sorry. My memory, you're right. It looks like they were calling him. It looks like it was Caitlyn.
You want to apologize for anything?
I don't know.
Calling it Caitlin at the time.
Sure.
Good thing for Boeheim. He did stop immediately, was helping with the investigation. They gave him all the sobriety tests. He passed all of those. It would have been way worse for him. I mean, his psyche going forward, had he had a couple beers and then, now you're
always wonder if he could have reacted differently.
Mm-hmm. He's devastated. His buddy Adam Weitzman told local news there. He says the man was in the middle of the road, not along the side or anything like that. So he's already blaming the victim a little bit, So, by the way, in case you were wondering, Syracuse did beat Louisville before that. So at least he was in a good mood.
Yeah, Jimmy's on a high. Yeah.
Game ended at 9, and then he stays for that press conference, has a little meeting with players and coaches, and then Mr. Jimenez comes into his life. So, yeah, tough. And it even gets worse because we lost Pete Tork.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, I did not expect to wake up and hear that Peter Torkman was gone.
It's a tough day,
Torkelson, excuse me. Torkelson.
That was just Tork, no?
It is Peter Tork, but his sister, Ann Torkelson.
Oh, wow. A little stage namery, huh?
Yeah. You know what? In Pete's defense, he knew Torkelson was not going to work on a TV show credits popping up on the screen moment or an album cover or sleeve, jacket, whatever.
Not when you're sitting tight next to Mickey Dolenz, Michael Nesmith, and Davy Jones, You can't go Torkelson.
Yeah, he looked at
Tork.
He was like, please be a Jingleheimer Schmidt as part of this cast, please.
No,
he runs into a Jones, a Dolenz, and a Nesmith, and he's like, fuck, man. Torkelson ain't gonna work, and so he just went with Pete the Stork Tork.
Can I be honest here? I believe we lost the least of the monkeys yesterday.
Was he which one was the douche? Is it Naismith that's the douche one that doesn't want to do anything, didn't want to do media and shit?
Maybe it's Mickey. Mickey Dolenz?
Loves the media. He's the drummer. Yes, Mickey will talk to anyone who will hear him.
Must be.
Yeah, he's like Jerry from the Jacks. Jerry wants a microphone. He's the queen of the moment.
Must be Mike then.
One of them, which one wore the little beanie hat? Was that
Mike?
Naismith?
Yeah, Nesmith.
I think Mike was the dickhead who just didn't want anything to do with the monkeys. It was beneath him.
So is Peter the only one now deceased? The other three still remain?
No, but Davy's gone.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's gone?
Yeah, Davy's dead.
Yeah, those are guys like, shit, I'm 50-50. Maybe they're dead.
I think Mickey pops up with like that alcoholic bloated face.
Yeah, he's
kind of the bulbous
unique
nose.
Looking guy as it is, yeah.
I think he's got a daughter that's doing something. I think Mickey Dolenz has a daughter doing something. But I'm positive that we lost the little guy who took Marsha Brady to the prom. Yeah. We lost him. What was it? What was the thing we used to say all the time from the Monkees album that we used to listen to all the time?
Oh shit.
About him being short.
Yeah. I'm short, I know. I don't remember. It was this little exchange.
You used to say it so.
It was this little like on mic right before a song starts exchange.
Yeah.
And I fucking thought.
Yeah. Was it 7A?
I don't remember.
God, Jay used to say it on this show,
dude.
We'll have to come up with it in the break. Shit, yeah. I like the Monkees, and it's like isn't it like Gilligan's Island where it's only like really short-lived?
Oh yeah,
2 seasons.
Yeah, super short-lived, and it was totally just produced. The whole band was put together to be this little TV show goofy thing.
And that was play off the Beatles, right? Wasn't it trying to capture that kind of that Beatles
cute young guys?
Yeah. And Pete had that stunning. I mean, there wasn't a colic on the top of his head. I mean, he had those bangs. You remember that?
He had kind of that, just a bowl cut kind of thing.
And you throw Davey in some lifts, and it just worked. It was magic, When you watch that on TV, and you saw that bed coming down the street.
Here we come, walking down the street. Yeah.
We get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the Monkees. People say we're monkey around. We're too busy singing.
Jesus, you got a little
to put anybody down.
You got a little daydream believer there.
Oh, I do. 7A. Oh, dude.
You once thought of me.
I'm short, I know.
He's got some short, I know. It was. Dude, I could listen to this song. Oh, I could hide neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. Choose your octave wisely, Jay. 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but it rings, and and I rise, wipe the sleep out of my eyes. My shaving razor's cold and it stings. Come on, Jay.
Here we go.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Thought of me as a white knight on his steed. Now you know how happy I can be. I've got good times, starts and ends, with $1 to spend. But how much, baby, do we really need? Bring it home.
Here we go.
Bring it home. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Run it again.
Come on, Jerry, get on the mic.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? We'll be back in a moment.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Mike and Jay, of course, Big E.
Well, boy, you know those days when you feel like you're gonna put that old big giant foot in the mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, might have said some things earlier, lashed a bit prematurely, and no one likes to go prematurely. And I mean, let's be honest, the local media folks are pretty good guys.
They're outstanding. What great work they do.
We go into the break, and I get a text from ML Elric, and I'm like, I don't want to open this. I don't know if he heard me go off and fuck these but
your new Rockney moment.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was like, so I opened it up. It's like, dude, where are you? People at Fox 2 have been pulling their hair out for 2 days trying to get a hold of you, trying to send a camera crew out there to cover the story in the tent.
You don't have the phone number that ML is texting you on?
I'm like, dude, what fucking number are you trying? Apparently they tried last night and this morning. And then, as I was prepping, as we were going on the air, I was like, dude, I haven't gotten anything from anybody. You know how you get these calls that are just like a number and you don't know what it is?
Yeah, you don't answer that shit.
You don't answer that shit. So finally I'm like, there was one call that came in right before we went on the show or whatever. And I look and it's Ryan Armani from Fox 2 going, bro, I've been trying to, I want to come out there and do this. If I don't get a hold of you soon, I'll have to move on to a different story or something, but I'm trying. So
yeah,
perfect.
So it's going on and on. I hope no one over there listens.
Yeah, it's just emotion,
Yeah, no, it's got a little fired up, a little heated. Who hasn't done that before?
Times are tough, with these troubled times we're living in, Mike. Who's to say?
It's Trump's fault, dude.
It was. You know what it was? You know what it is?
Trump's fault?
It's not Trump's fault. It's Jussie Smollett's fault. No, it's you know what it is? It was like, because I didn't plan on going off or anything today. I didn't. I swear I didn't. And I know there are really good people. ML Elric is legit. Ryan Armani's legit. Charlie LaDuff, obviously legit. And I've got a lot of friends in those things. But it bothers me that it's like, we've been doing this fucking show for 5 years and no one's given a shit at all. We've done some really cool things. We've had some exciting guests that typically would be sort of newsworthy.
In Fox 2's defense.
Yes.
A couple years ago, I was texting with Roop Raj.
That's Channel 7.
Okay, sorry.
I believe. Is Roop?
I thought Roop Raj is too.
Check it easy.
I don't know. You got a big machine.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going back and forth with Roop, and Roop was, wow, that's really great what you guys are doing. I'm gonna connect you with. This isn't funny. Yeah. I'm gonna connect you with Ron Savage.
Oh God, yeah.
And then literally 2 days, within 48 hours,
Savage.
Ron died.
Ronald passed away on us, and all of a sudden.
So then it's like, news goes on.
What about that story?
Yeah, the cycle,
the whole news cycle changed in the blink of an eye.
It did. And I sort of chalked that one up to, you know what? We just can't buy one, right? It's just our luck.
It's just our luck. Of course, Ron Savage bites it on the day, we're talking to them about covering something we're doing. So in their defense, they tried on that one, Jay. And really, I guess what it boils down to is the Detroit cast is loaded with dick lickers. And then we're very sensitive, and maybe we're a little sensitive to the topic. And, it's like you got three guys doing a podcast in a basement. It's like, come on. $70,000 we give more than the federal government. Come on, cover it. Why don't you just talk about it? And so I texted Ryan back and I said, hey bud.
Hey man. Yo.
Good to hear from you.
Looking down at your feet, just hey.
Anywho, did you listen to the show this morning at all? Perhaps live? And I was like, hey man, I got your message. I'm sorry that I didn't see it in time, and I don't know. Fox 2 is actually sending someone out here, so I hope it's you. If not, I'm sorry. And he's like, hey, man, hey, bud, all good. Glad someone's coming out to do it. I'm long out of there, but feel free to reach out if you ever need anything. I'll be more than happy to try to swing by. So, I guess the moral of the story is
just be generally nice to everybody.
Just be generally nice to me. How about this? I got a new one, Jay. What do you think about this? Try not to be a dick.
Well, that's the start. Yeah, that would be step number one.
I could just get angry.
And then the next step would be generally nice.
What about when you feel you've been wrong and your temper flares?
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Well, what about when you're mad? Then can you lash? When is it appropriate to lash and be a dick? Like if you have to be a dick.
You can be a dick, but be ready to accept the repercussions, I guess.
What if you're totally in the wrong but angry? Can you be a dick then?
I've done that.
Dude, I forgot about the Ron Savage thing, and
Yeah.
I feel bad now. Boy, I'm a real heel now. That stinks for me.
Well, better news, Mike. It's February. The weather sucks. We all know that. But the Tigers are reported to spring training, and every day has a little bit more sunshine than the last. To celebrate, Zotford and Holly wants to warm the cockles of your heart with their annual $99 payment party. Have you been out there to get a new one yet?
No, I have to. I'm gonna maybe even as early as tomorrow.
Lease a new fun-to-drive 19 Ford Fusion Hybrid, or lease a new sporty 19 Ford Escape, or lease the new family-friendly performance SUV, a new 19 Ford Edge, your choice. As low as $99 a month. Celebrate the $99 payments in early spring with your friends at Zott Ford in Holly.
So ML gives me a number. He says, just call Doug. Fox 2 now. And so I call over there, and then I'm like, yeah, is Doug there? And he's like, hey, just left the room. You want to hold on a second? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he's like, Mackenzie. Like, hey, Mackenzie, Mike Walters. He's like, where are you? Trying to get a hold of you since last night. I'm like, no, you haven't. That's a lie. No. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, we want to send a crew out and cover the story of the tent, the charity. It's amazing, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, you say that now. However, it wasn't but a half hour ago. I really said some awful shit. I mean, I really laid into local media, and boy, oh boy, I kind of feel like a dick now, but he's just laughing. I'm like, now I got to go eat a little humble pie, so if you'll excuse me. So he's like, yeah, he's trying to get someone over here right now to catch us, even while we're wrapping up the show, to get some film of some tape of us actually doing the show. So I don't know. I guess if they come over, if they do make it over, which it sounds like they will, you can check out the Detroit Cast, at least in part, on Fox 2, maybe tonight. Are you ready for your close-up?
Sure.
I'm just going to hand it off to you. I don't want to be on camera.
Great.
I'll make them blur my face out. I won't sign the release.
They'll
have to blur they'll pixelate my face.
I'm wearing a perfect sweater for my TV debut by 2002 cross-country state finals.
He's like, yeah, this is going great. I'm like, dude, the fucking Boston Red Sox training staff gave us $1,000 last night. Apparently they listen. He's like, that's just amazing. Isn't that incredible? It's incredible. It's incredible, the reach. And it would have been nice to have them here last night when Sponge and D-Mac and everybody else was here. But what are you going to do? Anyway, it's not just local news and media that is changing. I was reading the story about Barry Diller. He's a big media mogul, billionaire. And he seems to think that as far as like Hollywood, Tinseltown, making movies, it's over.
Barry Diller.
Yeah.
Why do I not know that name? I feel like I should know that name.
Yeah.
What's he done? What has he done?
What has he done?
Barry Diller.
He was just a little guy, the head of Paramount and head of Fox.
Little chap.
Yeah.
Diller.
The whole studios. He says Hollywood is now irrelevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says irrelevant. They've been beaten by Netflix and Amazon too. They'll throw Amazon in there. And so he was doing a podcast, actually, Recode Decode podcast. He said the outlook for Hollywood is looking dire, and major movie studios can no longer just acquire their competitions. They can't see an upstart and just buy it. He says, no, Netflix has changed the entire game. They've won this game. I mean, short of some existential event, it is Netflix's. No one can get, I believe, to their level of subscribers, which gives them real dominance. It used to be if you could get your hands on a movie studio, you were sitting at the table with only 5 other people, and so that table, dominated, media worldwide. You've only got 5 of them; they dominate everything. But now, studios, they've been able to acquire their competition historically. Now it doesn't matter what the film studio started. When it got big enough, they got to buy it. So for the first time, they're not buying anything. They're not buying Netflix. They're not buying Amazon. So he was talking about how Netflix's CEO, Reed Hastings, took his company from vending machines to original content creation from a pure tech background. And that he was able to get into this narrative show business thing in such a sure-footed way that no one else has really been able to do. You can't compare it. The only other tech company really in media is Amazon. And he said they're giving shit away for free. You get a Prime subscription, they'll give you fucking this movie, they'll give you free delivery.
Yeah.
He said you just can't compete anymore.
So much content out there, just spreading market share around. It's nuts.
Yep. He says they're trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the next move in the chess game that is mogul Hollywood, media landscape of the country or world. He says,
will there always be a need for people to go to a theater?
You know what? Here's the
no. I don't think so.
I disagree, but
they seem to think there is, but I don't. I don't think it's worth.
Yeah.
If you could get it on the same day, like if you could pay.
But it's an event, you know what I mean? It's a date.
Getting out of the house, getting.
Will there always be some level of market for that?
I don't know. They hope so, obviously. But if you could, with your family, not deal with lines, not deal with popcorn.
I don't think we've ever, as a family, all gone to one movie. Ever.
Yeah.
I've definitely taken the kids at different times. Gab has done the same thing. The boys go together
we went
separate.
To the movie with the Sweet Paw.
We did. We took the Sweet Paw. Yeah.
What do we see?
That was great. The
Secret Life of Pets. Yeah. Louis C.K.
Excellent.
It's a great one. But dude, I think that can survive, but it's going to be so niche.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, therefore, there's going to be a ton of theaters that close or have to close. So you're going to have to drive to get to one.
Yeah. Well, you used to have the drive-in theater, and that's dinosaur. That doesn't exist anymore. What is the plus? Is it just seeing it on the big screen?
No, I think it's a date. It's a thing to go do.
No, I get that. I totally get that. If it's like, hey, let's go to a movie, dinner and a movie is a big thing. But is that enough to carry the whole thing? What's that?
They're here. Mr. Fox News is here.
Alex, they can come in. They probably want to get some B-roll. Yeah, you can send them down. So I don't remember what I was saying there, but
you're talking about.
So if you've just got that aspect, like it's hey, we got a babysitter and we can go out and take dinner and a movie in. I get that, but is that enough? Because families, dude, it's really expensive now. I know we're kind of cleaning up our desk here. Oh shit,
shoving
errant pliers and
Mike's
shit down
tissues
here.
onto the floor.
What's up, dude? Alex, is it? How you doing, Alex? We're live right now, so if you can, do you just try to get some B-roll or something? Yeah, go ahead, shoot away. Don't worry about us, and we'll be done here in 15 minutes or so. But yeah, if that's the only group that's going to the movies,
yeah, then the number of theaters is going to shrink incredibly. And so then the question is, are people really going to drive to go do that, to go dinner and a movie? It's going to have to be like this special thing.
And if you go in prime time, you go in the evening, and you pay more. Obviously, if you go in prime time than you do for a matinee. So if you do, and you take a family with mom, dad, and 3 kids, dude, that's not cheap. It's hard for me to get my head around that because I'm always alone. So if I go to a ball game or a concert, I'm just worried about myself.
Yeah.
But it's 5 times expensive
I would predict that the family film thing dries up, except for matinees with like cartoons and shit like that,
right,
Pixar type stuff.
Yeah.
I think the evening family type thing dries up, and it's only there for that date night kind of thing.
Hold on really quick. Try not to swear for the remainder of this show.
Right.
If you can.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be
handcuffed, Mike.
I know.
I need my F-bombs.
I know.
It's the only way to express myself sometimes.
Right.
So and the truth is the technology has gotten so good with 4K televisions and big screen televisions that are not that expensive anymore.
Yeah.
That you can have a 100-inch TV in your house with an amazing picture, an amazing sound system. And you don't have to put up with people in the theater.
Well,
you don't have to put up with the tall guy sitting in front of you when you want to be first in line to see Star Wars.
Sporting arenas have seen the problem, right? They've seen the decrease and the problem getting people in there because the ability to just watch it from home and see every blade of grass on your sweet TVs or your surround sound. Mm. And dude, to your point, theaters are going to be even worse than that because there's not that draw to be in the stadium. Like people like Isis go to the stadium, paint their face. They want to be with the crowd.
Yes.
You don't want to necessarily be in a crowd in a theater, but the only thing that's going to draw is that event kind of date night dinner and a movie.
And that makes sense. But if you go to a game, unless you're the guy like E who wants to paint his face and being in the moment, the roar of the crowd when a big play happens or a touchdown, big interception, pick 6, pick the moment. The big home run and everybody together, you feel that emotion in the moment. But at a movie theater,
it's not there.
You don't want people talking. You don't want people clapping.
Do you feel
I like it.
You feel some
camaraderie? I'm a weird. Here's the thing. I was thinking about this. I remember there was a time when video stars were starting to go away, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't think they will because I still like going out. I like, at least, even though I'm getting a movie, I like the idea that I got out of my house to get the movie. Then I start getting Netflix, and Netflix is freaking awesome. So I'm trying to sit here and think that I like going to the movies. I would rather go once in a while still, and I want to think that people would, but I think that I'm probably in the minority on that. I think enough people at this point would be okay if they could get that movie directed at their home that night, pop the popcorn at home, and not leave.
Well, it's not even about being a hermit for me because
I'm
kind of a hermit. I just don't like waiting in line.
I know.
I don't like waiting 20 minutes in that damn popcorn line. I don't want to do any of that stuff when it's like I got a bathroom right here in my house. My couch is comfortable. No one's going to say a word. I can pause it.
Yeah.
I can't pause it in theater. Now, if they gave me my own remote in the theater where I could pause it and back up 15 seconds and see what I just made. Wait, what did you say? And back it, bloop, bloop, back it. Now I'm in. But that might drive some of the other people in the theater nuts if I'm constantly pausing. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I gotta take a whiz, and then we'll get right back to the feature. I promise. But here I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll stick around for a while, but ultimately it's going to be a tough go for them.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, E.
No, I was just gonna say, dude. That's why I think my point isn't valid in the sense that I still like malls. I really
you're a bad example.
I know that's why
you really are. Because you're a weirdo.
I know.
You like going out and meeting people you don't know.
I know. Heaven forbid that I like socializing and interacting with the human population.
Why would you purposely go and seek out human contact? What a weirdo.
I'm an idiot. What can you say?
You're weird. But yeah, when you talk about we're just talking about Netflix a second ago, and this guy's point talking about how that whole thing, he's like, Hollywood moguls can no longer compete. Netflix has won, and you look at this stuff. I think it was a little over $100 million for Netflix's show The Crown, right? So this original content, great programming, and $100 million. They've spent Amazon over $1 billion is the budget for the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Oh,
they're doing a TV show, and this is so heavily guarded. They said it's in a windowless room. The script writers, windowless room, and there's security around the clock, and you need fingerprint ID to even get into the writers' room. They're so desperate to keep the plot lines a secret for this thing. But dude, $1 billion. We're talking about the most expensive TV show ever, $100 million, and now $1 billion is the budget for this. Are you looking forward to that, by the way?
This is the first I heard of it.
I got the impression you didn't know it was happening.
No idea. Is Peter Jackson involved? Guy who did the movies?
I don't know. Amazon's chief, Jennifer Salk, told the Hollywood Reporter that she was talking about the measures to do this, but they're down in Santa Monica working under lock and key. They're generating really exciting material. Blah blah blah. Little is known about the Lord of the Rings TV show. Rumors that it will center around Aragorn. Aragorn, yeah, played by Viggo Mortensen in the films.
He's the king, as in Return of the King, you know.
Mm-hmm. So fans of the J.R.R. Tolkien believe that the series will mainly focus on the Ranger of the North.
But there'll be no Gollum?
Tricks the hobbits.
There's got to be him.
I don't know.
Me wants it, me needs it.
God damn, that's pretty. I've never seen it, but that's pretty good.
Language, please.
Oh, gosh.
He's doing a great impression.
They stole it from us.
And you throw.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is a good impression.
Sneaky little hobbits.
So what? I think they're saying they'll start before that and then work into Gollum. So I'm assuming maybe in season 3 you'll get a taste of Gollum.
They're going prequel on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll do what HBO did with the what's that the giant show? The one with the dragon, Mother of Dragons.
Lord of the Rings?
No.
Dragons.
Game of Thorns?
Thank you.
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. But it took us a long time to get to the Gollum moment when we got the full-grown dragons, and dude, it's worth the wait.
Wicked, tricksy farts.
What does that guy want? The ring? He wants the ring or something?
My precious.
Yeah, dude, that's Gollum, man.
He wanted the precious?
I don't want to spoil this, man, but he plays a huge role at the end.
Yeah, does he?
You guys
aren't aware. Out like for 5-10 years.
You guys aren't aware. I mean, the story's been out for, I don't know, 60 years.
Yeah.
You guys aren't familiar with?
I only know The Hobbit.
Why are you embarrassing me right now? I've actually, and I've embarrassed myself because I brought it up, and I've actually seen the movies.
And you still don't know what the fuck Gollum, what the
language.
The import of Gollum. My bad.
I know that character. Isn't he kind of nudish? He reminds me of the guy on SNL that ate the apple really fast.
He's so, yes. Yes, the little monkey boy.
The little monkey boy that would jump up and
he'd roll through the apples.
Yeah, Catan.
Chris Catan, exactly.
Very Gollum-esque.
Yes.
But yeah, no, he obsessed over the ring so much that he turned into that gross little guy.
Oh, that's why he turned into that?
Yeah, he was basically a hobbit before.
I need you to sit down and explain the entire series of books.
This is probably a good time to do it right now, Jay. Let's really get into the minutia of the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Why would seeking this ring turn you into this little goblet guy that talks all weird, however he does?
Tricks the hobbits.
And what's the deal with it's a ring?
Yeah,
dude. It's a ring. Get over it.
Yeah, it's really powerful though.
It is.
Really powerful.
I'm looking way more forward to the Dirt.
Oh, not Motley Crue.
Yes.
Is that going to be on Netflix?
Yes.
Really?
Netflix got that. Mm-hmm. And it comes out in March. And they dropped their first trailer for it. Have you seen any of this yet?
No.
They've got let's see. I was worried about this because I love the band and the antics. I'm so familiar with all of it. You know, I own one of Nicky's basses.
Allegedly.
Possibly one of Nicky's basses.
Got you.
And
Is
so
there
it's
any chance that's Nicky's bass?
yes. Yes. I can give you the evidence why.
What do you think the percentage is?
You can debate me, and you're a better debater than I am.
More than a 5% chance that's actually Nicky's bass.
We're not getting into this.
If we're being real.
We're not doing this again. E, do you have the Dirt trailer?
I do.
Pretty sure it is. Someone changed the strings out. Bad move, but it really threw things into a tailspin.
It really did.
So the Dirt, one of my favorite books ever is the Dirt. It's the the most notorious rock band ever, whatever it is. And so it's like
I think you have a copy of it right there under the board, don't you?
Do I? Maybe.
I think so.
It's usually oh, you must have moved it finally.
What?
Well, maybe.
It's been there for like 2 years before the.
Well, I packed a lot of stuff up. So
Yeah.
I probably did. That's it's autographed and everything. So I don't want anything to happen.
Some
to that.
people have Bibles on their nightstands or
I have
whatever.
the Dirt.
Yeah,
the story of the most
Dirt.
notorious rock band in the history of music or something like that. And so I was like, they got to get this right. Don't screw this up, Netflix. And I hear the people that have seen early stuff says it's really good, which scares me. But go ahead, E, hit a second of it.
This better be cast properly.
It could have happened to anybody, but it didn't.
Look at Tommy.
I know.
It happened.
And swagger.
Those outfits are spot on.
A new band is going to be something nobody's ever seen.
Yes, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm in.
God, those are my pants.
But they look so much better on me.
That girl right there got Tommy's white drum set from the Theater Pain tour. I almost bought it. Gave it to his damn sister. $5,000.
Cover band singer.
You say you're gonna be a rock star.
Vince.
What do you think?
KLOS shirt. That's the station the guy that was in the other day works at.
If we want to knock people on their asses, then we've got to
whiskey?
give them a show.
I'm in, man. When's it start?
March 22nd. It's a movie.
Wow, that's it.
The fans,
Yeah.
they're
Nice.
dying for some action.
So funny that scene there. I don't know how much we can play before they yank it, but that scene there where the chick's like, "So you're gonna be a rock star?" I guarantee that's the famous backyard party Vince threw at his house when his parents were out of town, and then mom and dad came home halfway through the party, and he's like, "Oh man, I thought I was in big trouble." Next thing I know, I look out there, my dad's having a beer and dancing with a bunch of blondes. I knew we were okay.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that to come out March 22nd. And that's Shotgun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly, I think, is the guy playing Tommy Lee there. And then you've got Game of Thrones actor, I'll screw his name up, Iwan Rones, playing Mick Mars. Breaking Bad's Dave Costabile, and he's playing Doc McGee. And then Tom Zutaut is being played. Yeah, it should be good. They've been working on this forever. And I think your boy, Jeff Tremaine, is the guy that directed this.
Really?
Did all the
That's
Jackass
cool.
movies.
Nice.
And he was there for the Jackass show too, right?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he did the Jackass movies, but also all the.
He was the beginning of the show, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he created the show.
Yep.
Hey, everybody, your investment plan should be created just for you. However, developing and maintaining a financial plan can be a bit of a balancing act. Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial can deliver the guidance needed to develop a well-balanced investment plan. Call him today. Tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. Call 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
We got real mature people around here.
I know.
Treating this professional broadcast studio like a playground.
T-Roy doing the moop over there?
T-Roy's he's not doing the moop, but he's having a beer, wearing a Grateful Dead shirt, and I think I saw some sky humping. There
might have been some thrusting.
Yeah, there was some thrusting for sure. Jerry, keep an eye on him. What's that?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Jerry forgets there's hot mics in here. Did you see the story, Jay, from the other day? And we've been so busy around here. There's some things that we've wanted to talk about that we just haven't had time to get to. But the guy that died on the toilet outside the Ravens Stadium.
Yeah, man. Fiery toilet.
Yeah, what? How does this happen?
I don't know.
Like, is it possible for humans to be so gaseous that whatever they're doing in a porta-john outside of
there's spontaneous combustion, but for that to happen in a porta-john.
No. I believe he came out of the john on fire.
Right. I'm saying he could have spontaneously combusted.
No.
It could.
How many people spontaneously combusted?
I know.
That you're aware?
Chances are low.
You melt into the wall when you spontaneously combust. You don't come out running out on fire. That's not a combustion. The combustion is when you turn into a pancake and you melt and drip down the wall.
I think there's different degrees of combustion. Sometimes you turn into smithereens. Sometimes you go aflame.
Listen,
where a simple roll will save you. I don't know, man.
You cannot take a man running out of a toilet on fire and say partial combustion. No, spontaneous combustion, that doesn't count. No, I don't know what this guy did. I do know
lighting farts.
I do know lighting farts, but what Mike Clark did this, where he would fall asleep on the toilet at like 2 a.m.
Oh, cigarette, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd have a cigarette.
But that's plausible, yeah.
So he would take care of his business and then leave what he called a cloud deck, which was so much toilet paper piled up in the water that it poked out of the water. And then he would have a cigarette. He would fall asleep, and he would throw a cigarette in the toilet. And then after a little bit of time, the paper caught fire and lit his on fire and burned him. And that's a hell of a way to wake up, right?
Got your dong just pointed right down there.
But I've heard of.
I suppose that could have happened here.
There's such thing as pyroflatulence. You're aware of, and flatulous ignition. Leads to the blue flame, they call it, or often called the blue angel or the blue dart. And there are documented cases of this happening in hospital rooms during surgery, where a guy is on the operating table, he's out cold, and he's just ripping ass, and something catches fire and explodes in there.
Holy shit!
The blue dart, you know what I mean? The blue wave. And so I don't know what happened here, but it sounds like he was in a porta-john.
He's just outside the stadium. What'd you say, in Baltimore, right?
Yeah, M&T Bank Stadium.
A set of porta-johns. He comes booking out on fire. Like, it's just ridiculous. Nothing's going on at the stadium, right?
And portable toilet. We're talking about the same thing, right? The plastic tubular
that's
john.
The one I know, yeah.
Yeah, where you have to hold your kid above it so your fear is dropping them in there.
You are holding on tight, man. Yeah. You are holding on tight.
Have you ever had a close call? Does that come from? Did your dad almost drop you in one of those things or something?
No, it's just an absolute nightmare, though. Every time I look down in that pit, I think, oh, that'd be the worst. Drop your kid. Because then there'd be that thought, like, do I have to go in and get it?
No, you leave it. You're done with that kid.
Man.
That kid is done.
I mean cell phone gone. Glasses gone. But
kid gone.
Kid, fuck.
You can make new kids.
No.
Watch the language. You can make new kids, man. That kid is done. If you drop a kid, especially head first, into a porta potty, an active one, no, you make a new kid and you just,
just cash out on
just scream, I'm sorry, as you walk away and get back to your car and you're gone.
Would you wait to say a best of luck at least, Mike, or just I'm sorry?
Well, sure, you can wish him a best of luck. I mean, it's not like you hate the kid. You still love it, but you're not dealing with that mess.
You'll understand later.
Yeah, and that kid will have learned a valuable lesson if it makes it out of there and will, hang on to its kid in that sort of situation. They said that the Baltimore police said it didn't appear to be anything criminal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to think, like, what criminal activity would lead to?
Well, somebody lighting the guy on fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, you blowtorch. I was thinking like he's cooking meth or something in there and had an accident. Fire spokesman Blair Skinner says the security guard saw a man engulfed in flames, running from the burning toilet. By the time medics arrived, the man was dead, and 2 other portable toilets were also ablaze. So whatever that guy did to that bathroom, and I've done some horrific things in toilets.
We all have.
Yeah, there's been. I should be probably like fined or thrown in jail for a weekend at least for some things I've done in a toilet. And this, I don't know what that guy was doing, but
the Mike Clark situation is realistic. I guess you have to leave that on the table.
Yeah.
The cloud. Yeah, a sporting event. He's been drinking a lot of
cloud deck. Yeah, it was a cloud deck. And one of the other stories we never got to, and we'll wrap it up with this one, is Mike Tyson. And this is a couple days ago that this one dropped, but that he apparently offered a zookeeper in like China or Japan like 10 grand. So he wanted to fight a silverback gorilla in a zoo.
Yeah.
This is just coming out now, or he offered this 10 years ago?
He's claimed that he once wanted to fight this silverback gorilla in a cage. He's getting a private tour. I mean, you can understand Mike Tyson cannot go to a zoo and not be mobbed.
Yeah, this is back in the Givens days, right? He's dating Robin, or married to Robin Givens.
Beating for sure, Robin Givens.
Beating for sure. Whether they're married or just dating, I'm not sure. Taking a private tour around this thing, and he sees a silverback gorilla being a cocksucker, right?
Language.
A real jerk.
So
he's being a real jerk to other gorillas.
His quote was, "I want to smash the silverback snot box." Here's what was happening. This silverback was apparently being a little bit of a bully. And he saw him bullying and pushing around other gorillas, and he's like, "That's it." Pulls out 10 grand, tries to give it to the zookeeper, who's just like, "Oh, yes, no. Cannot wait to make Tyson take on silverback gorilla."
It's much better than swearing.
Whitey.
You'd think 10 grand might motivate the guy, you know?
Would you?
I mean, you've got a closed zoo, man.
Okay.
It's a closed track.
Let's
open it up a little bit, you know?
Let's say, just for argument's sake, Jay, you're working at the zoo. You don't own the zoo, but you're kind of upper management. You're high level. You're the guy that's going to give Tyson a walk around with Robin Givens in his heyday and prime. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he offers you 10 G's.
You know what?
Try and take on a silverback gorilla.
Dude, honestly, his thought process might have been, this gorilla will kill him.
Yeah.
And then I have to explain how Mike Tyson died at the hands of a silverback.
There's no explaining that way. Like, you had to be there. Like, you didn't know the pressure I was under. Because people be like, wait.
You unlocked the cage,
10,
man.
10 grand. You know Mike Tyson doesn't have arms or legs or any of his genitalia anymore. That's what that silverback gorilla did to him. Mike said what? He wanted to punch him in the snot box, and you took 10 grand and thought that was cool.
Yeah.
You'd go, "Well, now that you say it like that, yeah, that's probably not the best idea. I don't know what I was thinking, but it is Mike Tyson. You had to be there."
Let's be clear. Silverback gorilla would.
Oh my God! Even a juvenile,
ass, right?
Even a juvenile would be the strength of, I'm sure, 6 men.
Juvenile lion, maybe not. Remember the juvenile, the guy that strangled out?
Yeah, the mountain lion.
The mountain lion. But I got to think any sort of monkey or gorilla. I mean,
yeah.
Remember Lampshade Head Lady?
Yeah.
Where her face was so hideous.
Right. Yeah, chimpanzee.
The doctors
even
just
a chimp.
went,
You're right.
You know, the best we can offer you is a lampshade. And she wore just a lampshade forever.
Yeah.
Because her face was so.
Yeah, they'll just shamelessly
destroyed.
bite your face off.
Yeah. They go for, here's the move. If you square off with any primate, if you start squaring off, they're going low. You got to get your knee up because they're coming in hot. They know this is the reproduction area and people don't like this. I don't like when people mess with mine. You don't want yours mess with him. Get your knee up because he's coming in. Then they'll start ripping your face apart and then fingers, toes, they'll like rip them off.
Sure.
Yeah. And so that lady ended up with medical miracle. The best medicine modern medicine, was a lampshade for her head. Yep. And it wasn't even her monkey. It was a friend's. Just lost it on her. Yeah. So I think Tyson, I'm glad we still have Tyson, but I don't think he would have won.
No.
It's just my thought. Buster Douglas can take him out. Thinking of silverback gorilla.
Yeah. Good point.
Also can. All right. Should we get out of here?
We should, man.
And
ease us back in the tent a little bit.
Yeah, get him out in the tent. See if you can't raise a few more bucks. We're gonna have him. He'll be doing it all night tonight too. I know you wanted to get some sleep, but you got some money to raise.
Hey, should we quickly have Jerry say goodbye to the folks on?
That's
on
right.
Our final show of the week here.
Jerry, it's been a pleasure and an honor to have you here all week with us.
Well, you know, it's been unspeakable on my part too.
Yeah, you made some real friends, and I was looking at the comments.
Made some real friends here today, and don't know if I'll ever see them again.
The people are like sad. They're like, we can't lose Jerry. Like you, I don't know what you said to them out there. I didn't listen to all of it, but
oh yeah, the Andy Warhol parts were especially good.
Why do you keep bringing up Andy Warhol?
Because I'm an art historian.
Yeah,
well, the thing was, he was saying that there was times when I would have to leave to help a little bit or this or that, and Jerry didn't always have his phone to be able to do like I did with the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
So now it just became people watching Jerry just sit there.
Yeah. The living image. Yeah.
It's the voice.
Yeah.
He did a Zot read the other day, and I swear to God, we should triple the cost to Guevara. It was
soothing, man.
It was
dulcet tones.
People, they do that, I could just listen to him read the phone book, that kind of thing. But they really, genuinely, I was like, wow, these people are really sad. And I'll tell you, Jerry, we had so much going on this week, what with the studio build going on and so many moving parts over here. Having you here to take care of Big E and take over for him when he had to come in and do the show or whatever was a godsend to us. Really was, man. And it's always a pleasure to have you in town. Have a safe flight back to San Francisco. And we'll do it again. Is there anyone you want to say hi to or goodbye to?
Oh, I want to say goodbye to everybody, especially Kara and Travis and the Jay and what's his name over there, Eric and
wow.
You especially, Mike and
Thank
Beth.
you, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
And Vinny, you don't want to say bye to Vinny?
I'm going to say hello to Vinny again.
I know you are.
Yeah,
Vinny loved you. Vinny Dombrowski.
It's au revoir for him.
And Darren McCarty. Darren McCarty loved you as well.
Yeah.
So we'll say goodbye to everybody. We'll have you out in the tent. So if
au revoir to the whole bunch. I'm gonna make sure that you get me back.
Yes, we will get you back.
And I can come
make
online.
Your beads too. You got a lot of beads to make for people. You promised a lot of necklaces.
That's right.
So thank you for everybody that's donated. He'll be out there in just a little bit with Jerry, and we'll pop out there as well and see if other guests stop by. Thanks to Fox 2 for coming by as well. Really is the local media is the they're good guys.
They're really the backbone. They're the backbone to the whole thing, right?
If you don't have a solid local, like we always say, if you don't have a solid local media looking out for you in your town,
that's our mantra.
They play a very important role in society, and we can't forget that. And the fine folks at Fox 2 reminded all of us that today, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay?
Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, D.